good day to all of you little ones. Today we are creating the 57th project in our lesson series. So let's get started. First, click on the plus mark at the top corner of the screen to open a new tab. Next, in the address bar, type thunkable.com and press the enter button. You are now on the Thunkable website. Now, click the plus mark again to open another tab and navigate to the dpcode.lk website. Click on lesson number 295. Click the Start Project button here. Now you have entered the project. In our previous lesson, we created a chatbot app. Today, we are going to improve that chat agent we created to develop a chatbot app that provides jokes. By now, you all know how to create an agent for a chatbot app. For this, we created a Dialogflow account and developed an agent named Master Junior. I am now opening a new tab and logging into the Dialogflow account we created. I have now completed creating the Dialogflow agent we developed in the previous lesson. If anyone hasn't watched our 56th lesson yet, please check it out on the Thunkable website. From here, let's further improve the chat agent. First, we need to add more intents in addition to the default intents. For this, select Intents from the sidebar menu and click the Create Intent button here. Name the first custom intent, What do you do? And click the OK button. Next, we need to add training phrases and responses for this intent. As we learned earlier, training phrases are what users say to the chatbot. The responses are what the chatbot replies with. I will click on the Add Training Phrases button here. For the first training phrase, type How can you help me? And click the Save button. For the second training phrase, type I want to talk with you and click the Save button again. Okay, now we need to add a response. In the responses section below, under the text or SSML responses, let's add responses. First type, I can tell a joke and save it. Then type, we can talk as the next response and click the Save button. Alright, now we have completed creating the What do you do intent. Similarly, we need to add 3 more intents for jokes as general jokes, science-related jokes, and knock-knock jokes. I will click on Intents in the sidebar menu again. Now, click the Create Intent button at the top of the main content area. Name the intent General Jokes and save it. Next, we need to add training phrases and responses. For the training phrases, type Tell me something as the first phrase and press the Enter key. Type any joke for the next phrase and press the Enter key. And again, for the last training phrase, type Tell me a joke and now click the Save button. Next, let's add responses. For the first response, type What do you call a dinosaur that is sleeping? A dino snore. For the second response, type What is fast, loud and crunchy? A rocket chip. For the final response, type What has ears but cannot hear? A cornfield. Now click the Save button to save the intent. We have now added 2 intents. Let's move on to create the third intent, the science-related jokes intent. I will click on Intents in the sidebar menu again. Now click the Create Intent button. Name the intent Science-related jokes and click the Save button. Next, add the training phrases. For the first phrase, type Tell me a science-related joke and press the Enter key. For the second phrase, type Science joke and click the Save button. Next, we need to add the responses. In the text or the SSML response section, type the first response, What did the limestone say to the geologist? Don't take me for granite. For the next response, type, How do you cut the sea in half? With a seesaw. For the third response, type, Where do astronauts leave their spaceships? At parking meters. For the fourth response, type, What goes zub zub? A bee flying backwards. For the next response, type, Why did the scientist take out his doorbell? He wanted to win the Nobel Prize. For the sixth response, type, How do trees go to the internet? They log in. For the next response, type, What's the tornado's favorite game to play? Twisters. For the final response, type, How did the astronauts serve dinner in outer space? On flying saucers. Now click the Save button to save the responses. Now it's time for the final intent. As before, click on Intents from the sidebar menu. Now click the Create Intent button, type Knock Knock Jokes as the intent name and click the Save button. Next, add the training phrases. For the first phrase, type tell me a knock-knock joke and press the enter key. For the next phrase, type knock-knock joke and click the save button. Next, add the responses. Under the text or the SSML response, type the first response. Knock knock, who's there? Arch. Arch who? Bless you. For the next response, type knock knock, who's there? Boo. Boo who? Why are you crying? For the third response, type knock knock, who's there? Amish. Amish who? Really? You don't look like a shoe. For the fourth response, type knock knock, who's there? Letters. Letters who? Really? Let us in, it's cold out here. For the next response, type knock knock, who's there? Justin. Justin who? Justin the neighbor and thought I'd come over. For the sixth response, type knock knock, who's there? Owl says. Owl says who? Yes, they do. For the next response, type knock knock, who's there? Spell. Spell who? Okay, WHO. Now we have added all the responses. Click the save button. Alright, we have now added all 4 intents. Let's use the stimulator to try out some phrases we have added to the intents. I will type any joke here and press the enter key. We receive a response from the general jokes we provided. Let's check another one. I'll type science joke and press the enter key. You can see we get a science related joke we provided. Alright, we have trained the chat agent to provide jokes based on the user's preference. Next, we need to connect the agent we created to the Thunkable app. Click on the integrations in the sidebar menu. Here, I am clicking on web demo and enabling the web demo. We get a code like this. Copy the URL under the SRC using Ctrl+C. Click the refresh button at the top of the window to refresh this page. Alright, we have finished creating the chat agent. However, we haven't yet connected this agent to the Thunkable app. Now, I'll go back to the tab where the Thunkable project was open. Next, we need to create the app. The currently added screen is displayed here as screen 1. I will click the rename button in the properties to rename this screen to the landing screen. Select blue color for the screen's background color. Next, let's add an image to this screen. Change the image's height and width to 200. Add the chatbot.jpg image for the picture here. Alright, next, we need to add a second screen. By clicking on the plus mark next to the landing screen, I will add another screen in this way. Now select this screen, click the rename button in the properties and rename this screen to the bot screen. Under the add components, drag a web viewer from the user interface to the bot screen. Now go to properties of the web viewer and paste the URL we copied earlier when we created the Dialogflow agent. Alright. We have now connected the Dialogflow agent. You can see the screen has changed immediately. We don't need any code for this project now. We have completely created the chatbot. You can live test this app to see how it works. If you have done it like this, you little ones are very talented. Send your creation to me on WhatsApp at note 76 812 5244 for me to take a look. Tell your friends about the creation as well. Send the app to your friends as well to see. And one more thing, join the DP Coding School Telegram group. Try to be the DP Code Jam Best of the Week once every week. Stay with us for that. Additionally, you can now join the DP Coding Club. You can start a DP Coding Club in your school. We are ready to provide all the guidance for that. If any school with computer lab is interested in starting a DP Coding Club, make a request to the principal to info@dpcc.lk. So see you with another interesting lesson through DP Coding School. Have a nice day.